Muito bem, galera. Mais um vídeo aqui, mais um react do Asmongold, que agora está se aventurando no Black Desert e era assistir foi tipo um podcast, mini podcast, né? Feito com geradores de conteúdo do BDO, falando sobre Pay to Win. Então vamos assistir aqui. Dali.
Yeah, well, look at this. The reality of pay to win. This is the game I'm about to start playing here, okay, guys? So, this shit... Is BDO dead? I don't know.
There is a negative stigma that comes along with Black Desert since the beginning of time, and that is pay to win. When you talk about Path of Exile, no one in chat's going to be like, oh, that pay to win garbage, right? Obviously, it's a very different game. Just using this as an extreme example for those of you watching on YouTube and on Twitch. When you talk about Black Desert Online, immediately you're going to get people in chat, for example, that say pay to win garbage. Now, I know we were talking about pay to win a little bit earlier, but I do want to focus on that subject right now in this segment. Let's talk about the pay to win situation. Choice, can you kind of walk us through one more time, I guess a TLDR version?
Yeah, I want to know like where I can spend the money, how I can spend the money, how much money we're going to need to get. Am I going to need to do a sponsor for Raid Shadow Legends? I got to figure out like, you know, what are we really getting ourselves into right now?
And of the whole pay to win issue with Black Desert, what it was like at the start, and how that's changed if it has, because I feel like there's no better person to talk about this than you. And I believe you actually made a video on this. I think you did a non-pay to win journey as well. Choice, the floor is yours.
Okay, so I think that instead of just saying, oh no, you're wrong, and all of these things that people say online are wrong, I think that it's more healthy to actually reflect on the reality that it was right. Like, I actually think that a lot of these rumors and a lot of these like things that people say about the game are absolutely, completely and utterly true.
Yes. All right, boys. We're going to be, bro, we're going to get the best gear on the server. We are getting the best gear on the server. All right, we are good.
But the game has absolutely pivoted from those days a lot. And a lot of those takes, I feel, are extremely old and outdated because you were faced with all kinds of roadblocks as a new player when you first started the game. Like we were talking earlier about how you did not get free pets, so you couldn't grind and you'd have to manually pick up your gear unless you wanted to spend money. Silver had weight, items and trash loot had way more weight, which means you needed to buy a lot of weight for your character, or else you had to stop every 10 minutes. It had issues with, you know, you dropped a whole bunch of items while you were grinding instead of stacking it into boxes, which means that you needed inventory slots. They didn't give you maids. They didn't have, like, you were basically just faced, they didn't even give you a horse. You basically just had to ride around. You had to find some random tier 5 horse. I remember when I first started the game, one of the selling features of the game, of the like Conquerors pack, was that it gave you a tier 5 horse, because otherwise they didn't give you a horse to ride. You just were like running around on foot. And so there's a lot of reasons why the game had that reputation of being like, yeah, it's pay to win, because you literally can't really enjoy it.
The reason why it's pay to win is you can spend money and it makes your character stronger. I mean, that's the reason why people think that it's pay to win. Like, that is the generally accepted opinion. Incorrect? Can you buy costumes? And can you sell costumes? And can you use the currency that you sold costumes for to buy things to upgrade your gear? Oh, isn't that interesting? I wonder what you call that.
The game, unless you're paying money to play. There was an initial investment of like $300 to get all of the, what most players would consider necessary conveniences that I would not even call them conveniences. I call them just necessities. And so that was super prohibitive as a new player. And that's where this stigma comes from. But I actually think that they have fully, with the exception of maybe, you know, the fairy system is still a little bit, you know, it needs work, and the pay to win tint for sure needs a little bit of work, but all in all, they've done a really good job in making it where you can play this game without investing money for the first like 6 months without even feeling like you need to have a value pack, because they even just give you that along the way. And I think that I
bought the fucking $70 version of the game because I thought I would need it. Did I waste my money? Because he's talking about how it's not pay to win. So I deleted my money. Yeah. You dumbass, you should have bought the $100 one. There was no $100. I bought the biggest one. No, you do need it? Okay,
you can actually play this game and try this game without feeling the need to spend money. And if you want to continue to play the game without spending money, it's possible. But I definitely think that, you know, having a value pack active is probably the bare minimum for just not having to only sell your items every 2 weeks.
Is the value pack being active the equivalent of what the Crystalline Aura is in Lost Ark?
Yes.
Yes, I'm completely okay with that.
Because that's probably a huge one too, but that's kind of like a subscription cost. I feel like that's a bit more fair.
Exactly. I don't care about
that. Yeah, I don't know. The negative aspect of the game,
by the way.
Yeah, $15 per month is what you would expect for a value pack. But yeah, I started this game over again on EU. I spent $60, and I quite frankly, I couldn't hardly tell the difference between my North American account that has every luxury in the world and this EU account that has all the luxury.
I like how they brought the cosmetic cat girl in. She just sits there. This is just like, you know, like on TikTok and like these other fucking short form videos where...
Calma, cara. Daqui a pouco o cara vai deixar ele falar também. Calma, rapaz.
Like, you're watching a podcast of like this guy talking about how women shouldn't vote, and then below it, there's like a dude that's like doing CS:GO surfing, or he's driving a car through like a like some sort of like maze in a video game.
Realistically, $60 is going to get you very far, and after that, you buy a value pack every month if you really want the pure convenience of that, and you can enjoy this game so successfully, like you won't even feel prohibited in any way, or I don't feel incentivized at all here in EU to buy anything ever, because it's not needed. It's totally unnecessary.
Okay. Ellie, what's your take on that?
I agree, you know, with Choice about the earlier half, that people do have this idea that Black Desert Online is pay to win because initially it was a very predatory game.
Well, the reason why people think it's pay to win is because there are videos of a guy that says, I spent $120,000 on Black Desert Online. Like, that is a big reason why people think it's pay to win. Can I know why you're biased in your Tower Fantasy interview? You've typed that 10 times now. I will remind you, I'm never biased. It doesn't happen. There's nothing biased about what I said. I was accurate in everything that I said. It's just how it is.
If you wanted to continue grinding, you have to swipe for weight. And this is per character, which is still a thing in the game. Hopefully, maybe in the future, they'll alleviate the per character weight restrictions. But in the beginning, you absolutely had to, because there was no way they were giving you any like free weight, any like maids. They made it so easy for you to swipe. In fact, they threw it all in your face. Hey, here, swipe, swipe, swipe. You want to do this more? Swipe, swipe, swipe.
Yeah.
And that is a very bad way to enjoy the game. So I can see why people have been left with this stigma of this game being pay to win. However, none of that is as strong or in your face as it was initially. With the silver reduction.
People don't really mind if a game is pay to win as long as they can play it casually and still be able to keep up. That's why games like Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail are successful. That's the reason. It's that you can still play them casually and keep up with people and keep up with the content. If you can't...
mas essa é a realidade do pay to win hoje, né, cara? É isso. As pessoas não se importam com pay to win desde que a gente possa jogar a parada, tá ligado? Sem gastar uma fortuna, né? Querer um jogo que não tem pay to win hoje é uma utopia, né, mano? É uma utopia, né? Diz o Taris Land que vai ser, né? Diz o Taris Land que vai ser zero pay to win. Vamos ver, né?
Can't do that, then the game's bad.
And it doesn't cost silver anymore.
Star Rail is successful.
Your silver doesn't
Massively.
have any weight with the free amount of free stuff they give you, with all the other gains you get in the game, naturally just progressing inventory, quests, and all that. I think they've definitely made the whole pay to win thing just a thing in the past. You can definitely progress in this game without having to swipe in the game. And every time that I do have a new person that comes to ask me, hey, what do I need to buy in this game? I'm like, first of all, you don't need to buy anything.
You have to buy the
just
game.
buy the game for $5 at a discount,
$10.
however it costs you, or get it for free because the game goes out for free a lot of times. Hashtag not
What the
sponsored. So you can do that and then
spend $10.
not swipe. Just enjoy the game. Enjoy the game the way you
for the base
want.
game.
If I had to say to somebody, hey, if you do want to swipe in this game, this is something that you can't get in the game.
Enquanto isso, agora que eu vi, ó. Enquanto isso, o Choice tá grindando infinito, mano. O moleque é uma máquina, mano. Caralho, esse moleque não para de grindar, velho. Olha o Zercão rodando lá no fundo, lá, mano. Igual um foguete, mano. Caralho, o moleque é um monstro, mano. Tá maluco, velho.
Game by any other means, and that is the tent. The tent is a very quality of life thing in the game, and it is something that I almost would say it's something that is probably needed in the game.
If you buy the tent, do you have to rebuy the tent at periods of time? It's $40? Oh, that's fine. That's
fully enjoy the game, which really sucks, and I wish there was a free way to obtain this, even by just logging on for like 90 days straight to acquire this item, because I think it's a very important item. Aside from that, I think they've done a really good job at creating the whole monetization thing. I don't feel pressure to swipe. I don't feel pressure to do this. I don't feel pressure to do that. If I wanted to buy something, I just buy outfits, which can also be bought from the market board itself, from other players. So you have the option to buy things that other players like to spend on and put on the auction house so they can, I don't know, well out.
Yeah, sure.
But I think somebody... Is the game pay to win? I don't know if that was your question directly, or talking about the monetization. I don't think so. I think it definitely has pay to win and pay for convenient features, but I don't think it's pay to win in that way. I don't know.
E essa parte aqui sempre me irrita, cara. Pô, por que, cara, que as pessoas têm tanto medo de falar que o jogo é pay to win, cara? É pay to win sim, mano. Pô, vocês já acabaram de argumentar inteiro sobre o quão irrelevante é o bagulho ser pay to win. Não existe jogo mais que não é pay to win, cara. Não existe, cara. Não existe mais, mano. Não adianta querer passar o pano por cima, velho. Tá de boa. O que a Asmongold acabou de falar, cara. As pessoas não se importam com pay to win desde que elas consigam jogar o jogo de boa, tá ligado? Então, cara, é pay to win? É. Você consegue jogar de boa? Sim. Então foda-se. Acabou, tá ligado? Mas aí você fica aquela confusão. Caralho, não é pay to win então? Mas isso aqui, isso aqui. Porque quando você fala pro cara que não é pay to win, não tem pay to win, meu irmão, o cara espera o quê? Zero. Tá ligado? Eu vou entrar e eu não preciso gastar nada, vou progredir igual, sem nada. Essa é a expectativa do cara. Não tem pay to win. Não é pay to win. E é uma expectativa totalmente irrealista, né, cara? É surreal, né, mano? Um bagulho que não tem como. O cara vai chegar e falar, porra, e a barraquinha? Aí a fadinha? Aí não sei o quê. Vai ter a parada, né, cara? Não é zero pay to win, né, cara? Não tem como. Você que esse medo de, porra, falar que o bagulho é, tá ligado?
One-time only convenience, I really, really hesitate to call it pay to win, because Path of Exile, like, that's kind of their model. Like, I don't really mind that very much, Like, the type of pay to win that is problematic in my mind is the pay to win that separates a $100 player from a $1,000 player, and that pay to win also separates a $1,000 player from a $10,000 player. Like unscaled pay to win is the worst.
That's a good answer.
No, that was great. It was great, totally. So if I may inject my thoughts on this matter here, I believe that there are two mechanics, two things that are in this game that are pay to win. When I say pay to win, I mean something that you can purchase that will allow you to progress your gear or your power faster, because everyone has a different definition of pay to win. Let's just use that as the baseline for the definition of pay to win. Everything else is pay to convenience. And I feel like this game very much...
I think pay for convenience is just as bad as pay to win if it's on a consistent cycle. I think one-time payments like a stash tab or like this tent thing, it's not a big deal. But like pay to win, like, oh, you have to do Una's task skips. Oh, well, you have to pay for this and you get your fucking reset on your Trailblazer power. Oh, fuck. Take me out of the clock box for 10 minutes so I can play the game just to put me back in it for $10. Oh, great. Thank you so much. Just what I wanted.
Encourages you to pay for the convenience, and it's justified by the players purchasing it because, well, first of all, the prices are reasonable. Second of all, you get a lot of discounts. And third of all, it's permanent. So like once you buy this tent that these guys are talking about, it is permanent. It's a one-time purchase and you're done. It's very comparable to systems in the monetization. Well, this specifically is very comparable to a game like Path of Exile, which you are very much encouraged to purchase.
It's going to be the same as Diablo 4 soon, where you're able to purchase extra character slots, bag space, extra storage, chest items. Yeah. So they're not going to add that until season 3.
Sobrou pro Diablo 4
that's going to be my minus $500. Anybody that forgot about that, I bet a guy $500. I told him I'd buy him every single thing in the Blizzard shop at the time for Diablo 4 at the time, or $500, whichever one came first. And man,
those storage slots, right? So when it comes to the pay to convenience, I feel like a lot of Black Desert Online players, they do try to justify it by saying it's not pay to win, it's pay to convenience. But I feel like it doesn't change the fact that this game does encourage you, I feel like pretty aggressively. I'm not saying that's a good or bad thing, by the way. I think they do aggressively encourage you to pay for convenience, because let's be real here. Hey, there's a discount going on, and if you buy this,
it's definitely cringe that they do that. But after you buy it, you have it, and that's it. And Black Desert receives continuous content updates. It's a live service game. So like they've got to find a way to make money with the game over time if they're going to continuously develop it over time. Like, games are not free, what the fuck? Yeah.
Package, which is like a 40% discount, you also get these...
Eu tô achando estranho, cara. A defesa do Asmongold do BDO, eu tô achando estranho, tô meio confuso assim, tá ligado? Ele tá muito pró BDO, velho. O que tá acontecendo aqui, cara? O que tá acontecendo, velho? Não é que ele tá falando nada errado, tá ok, mas pô, tá estranho, né, velho? Que porra é essa, velho? O Jotinha fez o Pix, o que tá acontecendo? Tá convertido ele, velho? Ele não tá defendendo o BDO. Não, tá beleza, mas é uma defesa direta ao BDO de qualquer forma, né, Raid? Você tá assistindo um vídeo de BDO, sobre o BDO, e tá defendendo o modelo que é do BDO, então é uma defesa. Ele tá coerente, eu não tô falando que ele tá errado, entendeu? Ele tá certo, o raciocínio dele tá certo. Mas é que geralmente quando se vai falar de BDO, coerência e raciocínio correto não acontece muito, entendeu? Só que, assim, tá acontecendo com muita frequência atualmente, tá ligado? É só isso. Recentemente as pessoas começaram a ser coerentes, começaram a, porra, fazer... Mas o que tá acontecendo? Não sei, mas, pô, legal, né? Legal. Pix Jotinha.
20% discount coupons that you get that expire a week later. So and discounts are great, don't get me wrong, but like I feel like the game certainly does encourage you to pay for convenience. But like what Choice was saying, it's no longer necessary to pay for those conveniences. Weight is significantly less important now than it was in the past because of just the way the game is designed. You have all these maids, which are also given to you for free. You get a lot of inventory slots.
Can you make the maids cat girls?
For free, you get a lot of maids for free. There's a lot of things in the game now that prevent you from having to have some of these convenience items, and a lot of these convenience items are given to you for free, especially if you play for a long period of time. Pets are another example of this. So for me, my opinion is that there are two mechanics, two items, or two main things that
back in the day, the pets, you buy a pet and it loots stuff for you. It was really good.
Are pay to win, and the rest of it's pay to convenience. And like in regards to those pay-to-win items, I feel like that, for me personally, is also a non-issue because it's just simply not worth paying for those items to progress. I feel like there's a reason why that the vast majority of people that truly whale in this game, that aren't content creators, aren't streamers, do it by paying pilots to play their account to grind, because that is literally the most...
So you see Choice isn't doing that. Bro, you think he's paying attention? Bro, look at this fucking reflection. He's playing the game the whole time. This guy literally
Ele acabou de perceber ela. O Chase tá grindando infinito.
never stopped grinding. Look at it, he's playing the game at this exact moment on the video.
Efficient way to grind. Not to mention there are limits to how much you can purchase when it comes to some of these items. I'm not encouraging that, but I mean, I'm just calling it what it is. Let's be real. Let's not act like people aren't doing that. You shouldn't do it. It's against terms of service. But let's not act like that doesn't exist.
Yeah,
that certainly does exist. But I think that in itself is also a testament to just it being the most, like, progressing your character simply is the most efficient way to progressing your character. It simply is grinding, like what Choice is doing right now. How much are we up to right now, bro?
I don't know, man. I sold my trash earlier, so I'm not sure. But
no, it's all good.
Yeah,
It's
I
all
got
good.
4 tongue grads so far.
Four? You got 3 more since the. Jeez, man.
He knows.
Man, that's like 1 every 10 minutes on every. Anyways. Sorry, I thought I would throw that in there. But if you're wondering what those 2 items are, those would be artisans and costumes that you can sell for silver. So what I've done here, I've written out all the items that could be considered pay to win and pay to convenience. Let's talk about each one individually so that the viewer can decide for themselves the value of each item. So let's start with the pay to win items, which I feel like are, by definition, pay to win. Okay, starting with artisans. Choice. Can you briefly tell us what artisans? Actually, I will explain what artisans are. Artisans is an item. So in Black Desert Online, you upgrade your gear, and when you upgrade your gear, if you fail your upgrade, you lose maximum durability on your item. And in order to repair,
I thought it unlevels your item. It does both.
Esse vídeo de 6 segundos é o tempo.
É o tempo que eu vou ignorar.
Oh, fuck, bro. You can prevent that now? Oh, okay, cool.
The maximum durability on your item, because obviously if the durability goes to 0, it's unusable.
Yeah.
You have to use something called a memory fragment. Doesn't matter what the name is. You just have to use an item that repairs the maximum durability. And artisans allow you to repair 5 times the amount. 1 memory fragment would be one durability. Using an artisan would give you 5 durability per memory fragment. So
that's good.
You're using less memory fragments to repair your gear, allowing you to enhance more, right? Choice. Can you talk?
Enhancing is honing, by the way. For anybody who doesn't know, enhancing literally honing.
To us about artisans. Like, what is this a pay-to-win thing? Why does it not matter if it doesn't matter? It doesn't matter. Break this down for us.
Okay, so I think that Cronstones, like the ability to purchase costumes and artisans, definitely both of them I think are pay-to-win. Now, the big question here becomes, in the whole pay-to-win discussion, to me, has always been, how is this actually affecting your gameplay as a player? And the reason why I don't necessarily think that it matters that people can pay to win is, what is it that you are really missing out on by not being a high gear score player in this game? Like,
will you be able to have better gear and do more damage, right? I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like that's the main reason.
You can still do Node Wars and Siege. You can still do almost absolutely everything that a non-geared player can do in the game, except for Red Battlefield. That is like one of the only things. Even open world, you can just go on a season server and do open world PvP through season. So to me, the whole discussion around pay to win is, okay, if the definition is, can I pay for power to get stronger in this game? Absolutely. But you're not winning anything by doing it. This game is honestly very solo oriented, and there are alternatives for every piece of content.
So it's pay to win. Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, the thing is, like, even if a game is solo oriented,
eu espero que o solo, que o Choice fale que é balanceado, tá ligado? Ele precisa falar que é equalizado a porra toda, tá ligado?
You can still, like, is Honkai Star Rail pay to win? Yeah.
Except Red Battlefield, that you can enjoy the game without needing gear. So therefore, I just don't really see the need, and that's why it's something that never really comes up, is that most players are kind of playing their own game in Black Desert. Everybody keeps saying a lot of the time in these videos that I watch on YouTube, they're like, oh man, this is a forced PvP game, someone will flag up on you and die, and that's why it's so pay to win. I haven't been flagged up on in Black Desert in, like, you know, how long? Like, how often does this happen? And if it does happen, you just hop one channel and it's never gonna happen again for 3 months. It's like, it doesn't really, that type of thing doesn't really occur. And so, to me, the question, can you pay? Absolutely. Are you winning? What are you winning? Like, what are you able to do with that you weren't able to do that really matters in relation to another player? So, like, I just don't think that.
Ele não tá falando que o bagulho é equalizado, eles não sabem, cara. Fala que é equalizado, cara.
Other people's.
I mean, like, I think this is kind of a bad argument, personally. I think that.
Claro que é um argumento ruim, ele não tá falando tudo, caralho.
It's pay to win. And the game wouldn't be designed that way. Think about it right from the developer's perspective. The developer wants people to buy these things in the store, because if they didn't want people to buy them, they wouldn't be in the store. So in the developer's mind, there is an incentive for an individual to buy these things. The game is designed in a way to make people want to buy them. But winning what, though? Being able to kill monsters?
Ele não tá conseguindo pensar direito porque ele não para de grindar, porra. Ele não para de grindar e não consegue criar um argumento completo, pô. É foda. Para de grindar, porra. Fala, Gilgamesh. Muito obrigado pelo sub, irmão.
Monsters faster. So in open world PvP, does your gear matter? So that means if somebody that spent a lot of money, they would have better gear and they'd have an advantage. Like I mean, I feel like that's pay to win. What he's saying is that if Elon Musk plays this game and swipes 750 gear score, he'd still lose to choice, is what he's saying. That doesn't matter. That's silly, because of course that's true. Of course a player who is really good is going to beat somebody who's really bad and pay to win. But if two equal players go out and they fight each other, and the person who spent $1,000 has an advantage, then it's pay to win. Like, of course one of the best players can beat someone who's never played the game before. That's silly.
Spending money on this game has any effect on me whatsoever. So it's just not really something that's thought about by me, or I don't think by many BDO players, quite frankly. I actually like when people spend money so I can progress my character by buying their costumes off the market. Like, it's more of a solo thing.
Right. So I'm going to let you give your opinion here, Ellie, but I do want to actually just knock out both of these items, the artisans that I just spoke about, and these costumes. For those of you who aren't aware, you can buy costumes in the cash shop. You're limited, correct me if I'm wrong, you're limited to 35 costumes per week that you can purchase and sell on the market.
I think also, like, I'll play it and see for myself, but we'll see what's going to happen. But like, I understand that, like, people think that, oh, it doesn't matter that much. That's fine if, like, it doesn't matter that much.
Mas até o Open World de PVP é balanceado. Mas o Open World de PVP é irrelevante, Ego. Não tem relevância. Quem faz PVP Open World? Não tem relevância no jogo isso, pô. Não faz relevância. É um PVP full random. Cara, se você não é um streamer que tá, porra, na tua live, sendo exposto igual eu, tá ligado? Que o cara pode me caçar, que eu tô em guerra, numa guild. Mano, ninguém vai ficar te dando PK igual louco. Isso não acontece, mano. Porque tem karma. A penalidade de karma é absurdamente foda, tá ligado? Se você não tá numa guild... Cara, se você não está numa guild e você tá de boa, fora do servidor de acha, meu irmão, você tá safe. Você é um deus na terra, tá ligado? Ninguém vai te encher o saco. Se o cara te matar 3 vezes, ele já tá com karma negativo e tá fudido, entendeu? Então, cara, essa parte de PVP de mundo aberto é completamente irrelevante, cara. Só faz PVP de mundo aberto quem tá caçando isso aí. É o cara que tá na guerra, tá em guerra ali tretando com o guild o tempo todo, tá em acha ali querendo encher o saco dos outros. Se você não quer fazer PVP de mundo aberto e você é um player comum, anônimo, meu irmão, quantos de vocês estão sofrendo com PVP de mundo aberto, tá ligado? Não vai rolar, mano. Só se você quiser muito, tá ligado? Se você for o cara que tá indo lá perturbar, mas não é o problema do BDA, não é esse, tá ligado?
But it is still pay to win.
Vamos, Ellie, salva nós. Salva
each
nós,
costume
Ellie.
will sell for about, roughly, I think you could average it to about $1 billion silver. Some sell for less. Is about $1 billion, guys? Is that for like the premium ones,
That's
I guess?
842 million.
840 million. Okay, so just under $1 billion silver you can sell it for.
We need to buy those.
Keep in mind, Choice just grinded. If you heard what he grinded, how much he made, and just
I
in this
grinded twice
podcast,
that.
he's already made twice that. Put that in perspective. That's kind of what I meant earlier. And you could also melt the costumes. What do I mean by that? You could just essentially turn the costume into an item called Cronstones. Cronstones are items that give you protected enhancement. So if I want to go from second to highest level to the highest level by enhancing my gear, it allows me to go for that attempt, but not downgrade my gear, because you can downgrade your gear if you fail attempts in Black Desert Online. Now, the silver that you can make on a week-to-week basis is not limited. However, it is limited to 35 sales a week, but the Cronstones are not limited. You can buy as many costumes as you want and get as many Cronstones as you want. Cronstones are also very much purchasable in-game. It's the main way people purchase them outside of the free ones that you get. You'll get a lot of free ones. You can simply buy these Cronstones as well for, what was the price per Cronstone? Like $1 million?
2 million in the armor smith.
2 million per Cronstone. That is the system.
Well, wait, it's 2 million? That ain't shit. That's like $1, right? I mean, like, you need a lot, but how many do you need? 3,000. 3,000. You need 3,600. Oh wow, 3,600.
Ellie, floor is yours.
Yeah. Well, I agree heavily with Choice that you're not really winning at anything. There is no end game, right? The end game is PvP, and when you get to that end game, it's all equalized. So, like, what are you really?
Oh yes, Ellie! Oh, Ellie, muito obrigado, mulher! Oh, mulher santa! Oh, menina, faz o L, porra! Faz o L, caralho! Pelo amor de Deus! Vou até voltar aqui.
Yours.
Yeah. Well, I agree heavily with Choice that you're not really winning at anything. There is no end game, right? The end game is PvP, and when you get to that end game, it's all equalized. So, like, what are you really winning?
I feel like you're winning as long if you can do more damage, you're winning. It's that simple in my mind.
Ô, meu filho, equalizado, você ouviu, ô, motherfucker? Equalizado, a palavra equalizado sumiu, desgraçado.
You can buy something that makes your character do more damage, you're winning.
Equalized.
Yeah. If you decide to go
But the whole game isn't though. Like, PvP isn't the whole game. So, like, that's not the... It is? Well, if it's the whole game, then why they make an expansion based on boss rush?
Down that route. Okay.
O boss rush tá meio equalizado, cara! Porra, né?
The simple answer is this game pay to win by definition of everybody around, you know, who's swiping the game. Yes,
Boss
you
rush
can
is
swipe in
equalized?
this game, you can swipe for power.
Oh, fuck.
That is the thing in this game.
Alguém falou pra ele, o boss rush equalizado. Fuck. Aí, porra. Aí sim, mano. Aí sim.
I agree heavily with Choice that you're not really winning at anything. There is no end game, right? The end game is PvP, and when you get to that end game, it's all equalized. So, like, what are you really winning?
A lot of
I
confidence.
feel like you're winning as long... If you can do more damage, you're winning. It's that simple in my mind. If you can buy something that makes your character do more damage, you're winning.
Equalized.
Yeah, if you decide to go...
Equalized, but the whole game isn't, though. Like, PvP isn't the whole game. So, like, that's not the... It is? Well, if it's the whole game, then why they make an expansion based on boss rush?
Down that route. Okay, the simple answer is this game pay to win by definition of everybody around, you know, who's swiping the game. Yes,
Boss
you
rush
can
is
swipe in
equalized?
this game, you can swipe for power.
Oh, fuck.
That is the thing in this game. But I honestly don't see how in Black Desert that affects anybody. You just described the 35 item limit cronstone that you can list. If somebody does decide to swipe this limit weekly, it would take them a year and like 4 to 6 months to get to 730 gear score. If somebody is willing to swipe that much, go have fun, enjoy your game. Like, you deserve to enjoy it. Go pay to win. That is a long time to get to see fruits of your labor, if that's the right quote. Like, that is so much time. And yeah, you could go the other route where you can, I guess, infinitely swipe for cronstones to melt. But I also think that that's a pretty stupid way to do it. You're not guaranteed anything. When you're swiping for that at like a 2 to 5% chance to enhance something, you're talking about somebody spending over like $10,000 easily within their first month. That is crazy. And I think that those people that do that are at the very small portion of who even plays this game. I don't think those players are like, I think those are like a handful of players, not even a lot of players. So in short, yes, the game is pay to win. Point blank, it is.
Porra, L. Caralho, velho. Porra, merece até um sub, velho. Pelo amor de Deus, mulher. Você tá doido.
You can pay for power.
Okay.
But, I mean, it has never affected my game. It has never affected my playtime. And I'd be
we'll
very surprised if it would affect anybody in the game.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the big one right there. Is it just has really other people paying in this game doesn't have an effect, and there aren't really many. I actually have a bit of stats from when I made my pay to win video, and it's that around 11,000 costumes were sold in a given, I think it was 2-week period, which means that around 300 people maxed out their costume order, assuming all of those were done through.
So there's 300 winners.
You know, one person each, 30, 45 each. There would be 300 people worth of actual pay to win on a week-to-week basis out of how many, you know, several thousand players, like, I don't know, tens of thousands, hundreds, I don't know how many, because it's all very, it's hidden to know how many people really play BDO, but it's a very small minority. You would have to spend $50 an hour by the time you're an endgame player to replace an hour of grinding, is really what it comes down to. And even then,
that's actually a really good metric. I really appreciate that metric. That's a very useful metric.
Really
Essa
good.
métrica
Like,
dele foi
you're supposed to be
maneira
progressing and playing a game for fun. That power doesn't do anything.
O cara que gasta petit tá pagando $15 a hora pra compensar o grind dos caras. Pode crer.
Other than, yeah, you make a little extra money per hour, but that's all solo stuff. It just doesn't have an effect.
Like, I think if you can ever buy something that's like an advantage over somebody else, it's fucking pay to win. That's it. Especially if it's expensive like that. Spend 100K. That sounds like a good idea to lose money.
Ah, bom. Não, a Ellie salvou o vídeo no final, cara. A Ellie salvou o vídeo no final. Bom demais. Humilde. Humilde demais. Até falei que o cara ficou sentido. Mas até o WoW não foge, não. No WoW tem uma mecânica que o item drop PDG pode procar e se forte, se possível vender no market. Na época que eu jogava, o próprio Method, que é uma guild oficial de desafios, pagou pro cara que dropou o item forte transferir de server para eles comprarem o item dele. Mercado por fora também conta. Não conta. Não conta, cara. Mercado por fora não conta como pay to win, não, cara. Mercado por fora é mercado por fora, não tem nada a ver com pay to win. Pay to win é o que acontece dentro do jogo oficialmente pela empresa. Se você colocar mercado negro como pay to win, todos os jogos do mundo são pay to win, a discussão acaba. Acabou a discussão. Se você coloca mercado negro como pay to win, acabou a discussão, porque todo jogo no mundo inteiro é pay to win. Acabou. Simples assim, tá ligado? Então, pra mim, mercado negro é mercado negro, cara. Pay to win é o que a empresa oferece diretamente pro player progredir com o equipamento dele. Fora é mercado negro. É outra história, cara. Mas é isso, galera. Esse react já ficou grande demais. Espero que vocês tenham curtido aí. Tá sendo divertido, tá sendo legal ver tantas pessoas falando sobre o BDO, ver pessoas tão grandes quanto o Asmongold assistindo pessoas que manjam do jogo falando. Ellie, Ô, Raeli, salvou a pátria, pelo amor de Deus, braba demais. Deixa aí nos comentários o que você achou desse vídeo e a gente se vê no próximo React. Brabo demais.